Hello, ladies and gentlemen of internet world. How is everybody doing this evening? It's time for walking with Beau. Very warm, humid night tonight. It's 90 degrees today. It was nice. It was hot though. And we also had, going to have actually, the next 3 days, it's going to be about 90 degrees and hot and humid. And I guess people are pretty alarmed about the record temperature set in Las Vegas today. 120 degrees was the hottest temperature ever recorded in Las Vegas, by humans anyway. Of course, they're going to jump on the climate change thing, and granted, it is hot. They also just had one of the wettest winters on record in Southern California for much needed rain for drinking water and things like that. I was reading that it was 117 and 118. The previous record was 117, but that was 2017, 2021. So maybe things are getting hotter. But is it man-made or isn't it? I can tell you it's not hotter here. Oops, I didn't mean to hit the camera. To make sure we get nothing on the front of the camera. So I did not walk yesterday because we went shooting and my sleep schedule was kind of like interrupted in a weird way, and we had something we had to do this morning which ended up not being done, but I'm not going to get into all of that on here. Not a big deal. But anyway, I would have had to have taken a nap and gone for a walk last night, Saturday night, but I had something to do this morning, so I didn't do that. Now, a lot of times, I don't know what it is, but if I lose sleep during the week, a lot of times, for some reason, and it's probably mental, but mentally, I change my sleeping, I guess. It just happens mentally, where, I'll go to sleep and then I'll wake up. Sometimes I'll only wake up once, and there's been a couple times I didn't wake up at all. I will sleep like 8, 9, a couple times I slept 10 hours. It's always on Sunday morning. During the rest of the week, 5 to 6 hours. So I don't know how that happens, but it does. It happens pretty frequently, actually. So tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my video recording and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to double check my shutter speed and brightness and stuff. So I chose a setting that has this a little brighter. Dark scenes, you're going to see a lot of blue noise on blacks, if you understand what I mean. But I want to be able to have more daylight, not daylight, just more light. So that's what I'm doing with that. It actually looks more like the naked eye does with the previous setting on my last night walk. But a lot of times the dark scenes are too dark. So anyways, I got that situated. Tonight we're going to do a basic, a little over a 5-mile walk through a pre-planned route, and I'm doing that because it's hot and muggy tonight, and that's just what I'm going to do. I'll get my walks in, that's fine. So I was looking over my past few months of walking, my monthly totals. Pretty good. Pretty darn good. I'm getting between 120 and 146. My highest mile total was 146 miles per month. Generally speaking, it's been about 140 per month. So I got somebody walking ahead of me who's singing to a song while he's walking. So he's probably got earbuds in, has the rest of the world tuned out, and he's singing a song. Well, hopefully we won't have that for long. Hopefully they haven't been drinking, because I don't feel like dealing with lunatics tonight. That's the thing. That's the thing when it gets hot and humid. The beer goes down better. Well, he's walking into Thorn Craig. No, changed his mind. No, keep going. Oh, crap. I'm not going to get rid of this guy. Well, as we can tell, there's already stupid people out tonight. I had somebody pass on the left-hand side of the lane. Yep, somebody's feeling good. All right, well, this night's already starting off kind of kooky. It's a Sunday night, it's usually quiet. That guy was heading into Thorn Craig, turned around, came back, going the other way. At least I got rid of him. I do have my chest cam on tonight. I got my little flashlight too. I'm wearing reflective sneakers tonight. All right, well, we're gonna have, looks like we're gonna have a bizarre evening tonight. See, I got my little flashlight. Oh, look. We got a mama deer and a baby deer. Right there. There they are. I know you probably can't see that. But if you can't, I'll take the light off them so I don't spook them and they don't run out into the road. There you go. I'm happy I got to see my deer. That was a baby deer. Younger than the other one we saw in that field last week. This one probably still has its dots. That's white dots it has on the side. A little baby fawn. Ooh, is it humid tonight? I feel like I'm gonna sweat pretty good. So we'll get up here, keep my flashlight on until I get down the road a piece. I got a car coming. Go off to the side here. I always worry about deer getting hit here because there's always deer on this stretch. And like I've said before, people always drive by here too fast for the most part. There's the apple tree. I'm starting to get some apples starting to pop out. I'm getting some apples. And those apples actually get pretty big. I'm not going to eat any of them, but might have worms in them or something. But the animals love it, and when they get ready to fall out of the tree, you'll see me. I already have a video. I don't know if I uploaded that walk or not, if I was doing that then. But anyway, I shook the tree branch so a bunch of apples fell out of it. And then the next day on my walk, there was little nibbles and half-eaten apples. And I have seen a porcupine underneath that tree sitting there eating an apple before. And those things are not afraid of people. I don't think they're afraid of too much, really. because they're a porcupine. Ooh. We have a very warm, humid night. I am really starting to sweat. So that's it. We're walking. We're walking, you suckers. So I've been trying to keep up on the news, and Biden's not stepping down. He's not going to go anywhere. But like I've always said, with the Democratic Party and things like that, you never know what's going on with them till it actually happens, because they will double down, triple down, then all of a sudden, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. So one does not know until you know. But since the last walk we had, some news did break. Remember, I was talking to you about a medical emergency, and they kicked the press off the Air Force One, which typically the press travels with the president. That's not guaranteed in stone, but it's been like that for decades. Where the president goes, the press goes too, so the people will know what's going on. And they kicked them off the plane. And a lot of people were speculating it was a medical emergency. But what happened was they kicked the press off the plane because they're trying to keep Biden's medical condition secret, or as secret as they can. But it was learned that a specialist for Parkinson's disease visited him on the plane. So if you look up the symptom of Parkinson's, some of the symptoms, and I think they've known it for a while now, some of the, I'm going to turn off my flashlight now. Some of the symptoms include a gated walk, walking stiff, having difficulty speaking, stammering, stuttering. But the biggest thing is, and he's experiencing that, is dementia. That's one of the symptoms of Parkinson's. Well, that sounds very electric, that car. So, I think what it is he has Parkinson's. In fact, I know that's what he has, because this doctor has made 3 visits since last October. So they've known about this for a while, and they haven't said anything. They're trying to keep it quiet for obvious reasons, because it's an election and people no longer have confidence in him. So now we have medical verification, which the White House still has not officially announced, but everybody knows now. He has Parkinson's, and some of the thing with Parkinson's is memory loss, difficulty speaking, difficulty keeping yourself focused on what you're talking about, dementia. So he's toast, he's done. And the party knows this now. Some donors have pulled out, big league donors, okay? That's also official now. It's also official that the Bidens have canceled pretty much all of their fundraising. They had fundraising things scheduled, campaign stops, and they have canceled them. So what does this mean? Well, we'll have to wait and see, like everybody else, I guess. But that has happened. That's a fact. A doctor boarded Air Force One after his rally he did I think it was in Wisconsin. So I don't know if he had some kind of episode, but at least there's a record of it, and they cannot deny anything. So there you have it. That's what's going on with El Presidente. There was also another leak, which was not a kind one, to the New York Times. People have been leaking to the New York Times. Some of the other media has tried to get on the bandwagon to try to save Biden. But the New York Times has decided they're not going to do that. Biden needs to go because he's just helping Trump get reelected. And they don't want that. So, the other thing, which I thought was interesting, is as we make our way up the hill, they're panicking big time. They don't know what to do because nothing like this has ever happened. I even saw an Associated Press article. Made me laugh so hard. The article was titled, I'm going to paraphrase, but it was basically asking how the media missed Biden's condition. And I had to laugh because nobody missed his condition. They covered it up. They saw it. You know? You can't miss somebody falling up the stairs. He's been doing this since he came into office. All I know is you can't have a president of the United States who can't keep his train of thought on what he has to do for a decision. And he is clearly past the point and has shown it that he can't perform. And then he went on George Stephanopoulos, as Trump calls him, Slopolopoulos, or Slopolopoulos. And made things worse. He did not sound like a confident man in that interview. And I got to give George Stephanopoulos credit because he wasn't easy on him. Because the Democrats want him out. They want him out, and right now Biden's being selfish. He should do what's best for the country and just step down. He'd be a hero, you know, to these Democrats. It'd probably make a nice rally for whoever's going to run. Oh, gee, see, Biden doesn't want to be a dictator and this and that. And they'll turn around and say, you know, he's a better man than Trump is because Trump refused to leave, which isn't true. He left. But you know the narrative. So that would be an opportunity for them to use that. And they're only going after independent voters. Because right now they're making the difference. They have jumped off Biden's ship, okay? Gone. So, Democrats are getting desperate. Friggin' desperate. I even saw a video today, I couldn't stop laughing. Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC. There's a video clip where he's talking about debates. Because the question is Biden going to debate Trump again? Trump said he wants a no-holds-barred, open debate with Biden to speak freely and openly. And of course, Biden's not going to do that. We're not going to see another debate. But anyway, Lawrence O'Donnell was like, I don't see why a candidate can't have as many aides as he wants on stage with them and get asked a question. They can lean over and the aide will give you the information you need. He goes, I don't see why they can't do that. I'm like, are you kidding me? For one thing, that's called cheating. And what is a friggin' debate? A debate is two people talking without help or teleprompters or just from, you know, telling the people what their policies are and why they should be doing this job. And to demonstrate to the public things like you're mentally competent and, you know. Now, the last debate, Trump looked a lot better than he did in his debates previously in 2020 because they cut his mic off. He was very grown up about it, let's put it that way. And he just said what his policies were, and then you had Biden standing across from him and couldn't do anything. So, I don't know how a no-holds debate would go, but Lawrence O'Donnell saying that people on a debate stage should have aides up on the stage with them to give them the answers they need when they're asked questions. I'm like, who fucking thinks that's normal? Excuse my French, but who the fuck thinks that's normal? Nobody. Nobody does. You know, these people are so arrogant that they just say it on TV now. Biden cannot debate by himself. He needs aides on the stage. That should be allowed. You know why? Because it's Trump, the evil orange dictator on the other side. Why don't they just say that? Why don't they just be honest? We have to cheat because Biden needs it. No, they can't do that. Excuse my French, man, but that really burns my biscuits when people like Lawrence O'Donnell, highly paid propagandists, are so desperate and they are directly paid to promote Biden. He cannot dissent from that. Biden could come out on stage with a cane, half paralyzed. He could be coming on stage singing Yankee Doodle Dandy and not answering any questions because he's lost his mind. And they'll say, oh geez, well, he was being very patriotic. That's all he was doing. He's not insane. They are going to great lengths to cover him up again. And it's only on things like MSNBC. The other networks are not really, you know, NBC is kind of like their main stuff is trying to feel this out. Looks like they're still feeling this out. ABC is pretty much done with Biden. So, New York Times done with Biden. So a lot of these influential, I guess you could call them, media outlets have ties to donors who want Biden gone. The money has dried up. They're not donating the money. They want Biden gone. They feel it's early enough to mount some kind of campaign because technically the Democratic Party hasn't chosen who they're going to have yet. So typically that's when you find out who the VP is and all that. Then you really start campaigning. So having this early debate, while it's a blessing for Trump, it's also a blessing for the Democrats because now it's given them extra time to figure something out. If they had already had their convention and officially chose Biden, and they had managed to hide this by not having a debate with Trump, we'd be in a different thing right now. So, personally, I'd like to say it doesn't matter who they put in there. Michelle Obama was emphatic again. She's never held office for anything. That's the first thing. She doesn't know how to govern. She would have the constant Obamas back in the White House running things. They know that, and they can't do that. And Michelle Obama is probably the only one that has a chance to compete with Trump as far as public opinion and popularity. But she's never governed anything. She's been First Lady. She's had her entourage following around, doing her makeup and her hair and flying her here and there to say a speech once in a while. She's never run anything. America's not gonna go for that, you know, just because, let me put it this way. If you have a loved one that had brain surgery and you were at the hospital with them, even if you were in a gown with a mask and you scrubbed and you were watching what they were doing, you've never operated on somebody, okay? So that doesn't qualify you to do that. So it's kind of that same thing. She's going to end up getting caught on a stage, not answering the question right. And, but the truth of the matter is their kids are grown. She did a book deal for $80+ million. Obama's collected tens of millions of dollars through Netflix. They're doing their thing. They're sitting on the beach, drinking pina coladas, whatever. They don't want to go back into that cesspool of DC again. And I don't think we're going to see that. So I don't think we're going to see that. Another guy walking in the road there. He looked like he didn't know why he was walking in the road, so I was taking a look behind me to see where his long shadow was, and he was walking away from me. So I really hate to say people have to live like that, but it doesn't matter where you are, small town, big town, you got to have your head on a swivel today. Like I'm watching that car coming up to the stop sign. It's a motorcycle. Well, it sounds like one. Point is, I heard somebody. And keep your head on a swivel and pay attention to things. There's 2 cars behind me going through the intersection. Things like that. A lot of times people just walk and they're not paying attention to what's going on around them. And probably nothing will ever happen. So you can do that all for nothing if you want to, but anyway, Michelle Obama is not interested. And I think Obama is already rather involved with the White House as it is, causing these problems, partially because his people are the ones in there with Biden. So we are going to see what the Democrats do. Now, I was reading an article today. I'll get to it in a second. I have to wait for the lady in my ear to tell me how far I've walked when I already know. But anyways, 2 miles if you're curious. So anyway, the article I was reading was basically saying there's a loophole in the electoral process for the Democratic Party where they can use some kind of technicality, and you know the Democrats are good at doing that, finding loopholes and exploiting things legally for their own benefit. But what they were talking about is a lot of the donors have been talking to the Democratic Party, according to this leak, this article in a magazine I was reading. I don't know how much weight I could put into it. It's not a huge magazine. I'm not really familiar with liberal journalism, these smaller papers, but I have heard of this one before. It's some newspaper across the country somewhere, and not a big one like the Chicago Tribune or anything, but supposedly it's valid. Let's put it that way. But And remember, I'm no expert in anything. Don't take anything I say as news, legitimately true, or trust but verify. Go find out on your own, that kind of thing. I don't want to spread misinformation. But what they were saying is, the donors have been contacting the Democratic Party and saying, we need Biden out. We don't care how you do it. Our money has dried up. You're not going to get anything as long as Biden's the candidate. And I have heard NBC report that also. So that part of it is true. The part I'm not sure of is that they're planning a coup. And I don't mean like a coup in the White House with the government. I'm talking about a coup with the party to get rid of Biden. So what they're planning on doing, we'll see if anything like that even happens. Right now, Biden has made it clear also to the party he's not leaving. He's not. He's the candidate. He's the guy. I beat Trump once. I can do it again. That's what they're doing. And I think the Democratic Party is like, man, what are we going to do? What have we gotten ourselves into? Because legally, they can't force the president out of office. Nobody can. Except Congress, 25th Amendment. That might be their last resort, but they're running out of time. They'd have to have hearings, and they're just running out of time. And what I mean by that is if you get rid of Biden, you have to put somebody in there. Now, Kamala Harris is not popular, even with Democrats. So how are they going to work that in there and tell black people, well, she just wasn't good enough to be a candidate? It's not because she's black or anything. She's a moron. But they can't say that. So, you know, they're in a quandary, a pickle. Anyway, what they're going to do, according to this article, is they are going to drop Biden's delegates. He's gotten delegates from every state. He's won the primary in every state, pretty much uncontested. Some of them he was contested, but he won anyway. And so they are going to find a technical loophole, which I don't know what that is. They loosely explained it in the article. But they're going to drop his delegates, which they can do, and then have a quick snap election with people at the conference. I'll wait till this goes by here. Because what they can't do is they just can't drop the candidate that voters have chosen, okay? Even though they have seen recent polling where 73% of Democrats want somebody else besides Biden. So they have enough Democrat voters that I think will be happy if they replace him. Now, they have to let people know who they're going to replace him with. And I don't even think they know that yet. So, time's running out. But if they drop his delegates and do a quick snap election with people at the convention, then legally they can sell it to their voters that, you know, because of this technicality, we dropped his delegates, and now we're giving them to this person because you guys voted for somebody new. Now that could, of course, blow up in their face, and they drop his delegates, and then they go right back to Biden because that's what voters wanted there. But see, we'll see what happens. But I am 100% sure that the Democratic Party wants Biden off the ticket. The DNC always gets what they want. The donors are the ones that want him gone. They're the ones with the billions of dollars. They don't want Trump to win. So they have made Trump so toxic and hated that their donors are saying, no, Biden's not good enough to beat him. I don't want to wait and see if maybe by some miracle he wins. I don't believe he's going to do it. We want a new candidate, and you don't get another nickel. So they have canceled fundraising because the donors have said, we're not going to give you money. And it's not just one donor, okay? It's a few. It's a handful. Billionaires, okay? They need that money. Trump has raised more money than Biden has. So, you know, the donors pay the bills. And they want a new blood in this. And I'm telling you, folks, they're going to get it. I don't know how they're going to do it. You know, I think part of it was ABC News having George Stephanopoulos, who did not soft handle Biden at all. I got to give him credit for that, but I think there was something behind that because he is a Democratic Party donor. And as is Jake Tapper. That's why I think Jake Tapper was in on that on the debate as well, to let Biden hang out to dry and not rescue him. They were told by CNN's CEO not to play footsie and protect Biden and be partisan. They said, we don't want to see that at all in this debate. We want to see a straight up, honest debate. In other words, the CEO was saying, let Trump win because we know Biden's not going to. Because we've seen them cheat with everything else, okay? So there's really nothing to be like a conspiracy theory about. These people will do anything. The end justifies the means. It's the whole mentality with all of these people on the left. It's okay to cheat if you get the result you want. So that's what we're witnessing right now, and they don't want Biden, so they're going to do everything. Now, are they going to kill Biden? No, I think those days gone of assassinating candidates, I think those are gone. They would have killed Trump by now, really. As soon as he was indicted for Mar-a-Lago, you know, they would have just killed him and say, well, he was a freaking criminal and a crook anyway, so yeah, his voters will be upset, but, you know, they still got time. They'll march somebody else out there, which they would have. And they would have said, vote for me in Trump's honor. I don't know how effective that would have been. But I just don't think that's what they do now. I think what they do now is they destroy you as a person, which is what they've been doing to Trump. They just didn't count on the public knowing that they were doing that because they're arrogant. And it's not working. Right now, Trump is leading. If they had the election today, Trump would win, and they know that. So, and that's the other thing too. I said it earlier. Is Biden was trailing in the polls before the debate. He was starting to lose ground. So, you know, people just see for themselves, and that's why you're seeing the networks turn on Biden. You're seeing the donors turn on Biden, and a lot of the voters have, specifically independents. Now, you're always going to have that hardcore 25% who, let's face it, are freaking morons like Kamala Harris. They'll vote for anybody. They'll vote for blue, don't care who, you know. You could literally bring out a dog and say, this is a talking dog. He doesn't really feel like talking right now, but trust us, he talks. And he's your candidate, so vote for him. And these people would vote for him because, hey, Trump, right? There's some people right now in interviews I saw that they said they're voting for Biden. They know he's got problems, but you know, can't let Trump win. Anybody but Trump. It's amazing how effective this reprogramming or programming has been on these simple-minded people who don't think for themselves, believe everything they're told, and they would rather vote for Biden and not have money to feed their families than ever vote for Trump, who actually had an economical success in his presidency. So, what do you do with that? The hell do you do with that? You can't combat that. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just stupid people. I mean, there's really nothing else explains that. Yeah, I like paying twice the amount the price of gas was. I like paying for more food. I saw a 20-pound bag of rice today that I've been buying. Now I'm going to change brands because the brand I was going to buy went from $11 for a bag up to $19 now in a month and a half. A couple of the other brands haven't gone up yet, so I'm going to buy those. I'm not paying $1 a pound for friggin' rice, okay? It's the most commonly produced friggin' food on the planet. It's more plentiful than friggin' grain, okay? You know, it's literally supported billions of people in Asia for centuries. There's no shortage of it. So this is all just inflation, cost of transporting it, shipping it, cost of distribution, cost of businesses. So I'm going to get a rice alternative. It's still good rice, it's just not as known a brand, that's all. You know, it's pretty hard to screw up rice, really. So anyways, I'm sweating my can, folks. I'm drenched. I got a wet face, which is okay. So I just like to go out for my walks, and I like to be able to talk about things, and this has actually been kind of nice to do this. Get my ridiculous viewpoints out to the rest of the world. And you know, if somebody like YouTube didn't like what I had to say and they penalized me and kicked me off it, then I'll just set up shop on Rumble or somebody else. Rumble's actually getting a lot more popular now. They're not big like YouTube still, but they're pretty good. A couple of years ago it was difficult to upload things. Now it's a lot easier, and you can monetize your videos with less hassle. You know, YouTube, you have to have a certain amount of views, certain amount of clicks, certain amount of this, certain, you know, and I just feel like I'm being oppressed on my channel on YouTube. One, because it's firearms. I mean, look at Paul Harrell. You know, he should have had 3-4 million subscribers, easy. Easily one of the best gun channels YouTube has ever had, period. And you know, the only way he got to 1 million is because, you know, he had pancreatic cancer. People mounted a campaign and get him to 1 million subscribers before he passed away, which I'm glad he got. So sometimes I upload videos, and you know, some of my previous uploads used to do a lot better, but maybe I'm talking too much on my walk videos. Maybe they don't like what I'm saying because it's an election year. But I'm getting less views on my gun content, I've noticed. I mean, I still get some, but I don't think some of my videos are that horrible. And then I'll go to somebody else's channel, and they'll have basically a video that's not as good as mine, or one that's just as good as mine, And, you know, I'm not saying I'm God's gift to freaking YouTube by any means. But, you know, when somebody has 500 subscribers, which is a third of what I have, and they post a video of them shooting indoors at paper targets with the camera shaking around, and it really doesn't look good, and they have 5 times the views I have. I don't know what does that. I'm tagging my videos properly. So certain videos I've done have done very well. On the more popular firearms like Heritage Rough Rider, a lot of people like those that aren't expert gun people. And a lot of the lower budget firearms get a lot of views. But I've seen people post less with less quality, and you know, they'll get more views and likes. I saw one today, they had 600 friggin' likes. It's like, how does that even happen? You know, are they posting their video somewhere so somebody can click on a link and go to YouTube? Because, you know, I look at my stats, and, you know, I'm not seeing the huge numbers. I have more people subscribed right now. The content I've been putting up is better. Granted, lately I haven't put up very many gun videos, but the way YouTube works, it doesn't matter, because as soon as you put up a gun video, you're supposed to come up in the feed for people that have subscribed to you. That's how Hickok will get 10,000 likes in a day, because he's got 2 or 3 million people or whatever subscribed to him. So, you know, I've just noticed a change, that's all. And YouTube uses algorithms, and they also do things like what the hell was that? I posted a video once of Trump stopping into a police station to talk with police officers in New York a couple of years ago. And they flagged that video. And there was nothing wrong with it. They locked up my account. I had to fill out an email thing, and so they gave me a strike against my channel. And then what I had to do, and it was just a open sourced video, I think on the Associated Press wire. I credited the person who supplied the video with the Associated Press. So that was all good. It was available for anybody to use as long as you credited the source, which I did, so that wasn't the problem. I couldn't even clearly figure out what they said the problem was. So they had some, you have to remember when Trump was president that he was sabotaged all the time when they had his speeches on YouTube. You'd be watching the speech, and all of a sudden the volume would go way up, all distorted, so you couldn't make out what he was saying. Then it would come down, and it would go completely flat, so you couldn't hear anything. It's somebody that had to do with the production of it being a jackass. That happened quite a few times, actually, because I watched a lot of his speeches when he was president. So there was a lot of shenanigans like that being done on purpose. Eventually that stopped, so I guess they figured out who was doing it. And I think it was somebody on the White House production side of it, or whatever media outlet they were using outside the White House when Trump would give a speech. But anyway, they figured out what was causing it, and it stopped. But the point is, people do that, and I think that's how I got reprimanded. Of course, I'll never know. you know. So, c'est la vie, I guess. Can't do anything about something I can't do anything about. I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of censorship this year, because democracy is at stake. If Trump wins the White House, and they've been talking about this Project 2025, okay, from the Heritage Foundation, trying to tie Trump with that. Trump issued a statement. I got nothing to do with that. You know, I wish these guys luck, but some of the stuff I agree with. He said some of the stuff is just ridiculous and it's abysmal. Nothing any White House would ever do. And the media has been on this entire cycle of trying to pin Trump to Agenda 2025, Project 2025. If you want to know what that is, look it up. The Heritage Foundation has it on their website, but Trump has denounced it. So anyway, Trump's agenda is Agenda 47. Now that is legit. That's on the official Donald Trump website, Agenda 47, his plans when he comes into office. Obviously without tipping too many cards. But immigration is one of them. And a lot of people have this romantic idea that this, you know, let's just do mass deportations. Well, the Supreme Court has already ruled that we have due process even for illegals. So it's not going to happen. You can't round people up in cattle cars and just ship them out like they used to in the old days. Can't do that anymore. Has to be due process. Now, what kind of way can you have due process and still do that? There might be a way to do that, but Trump's only got 4 years. Okay, gets reelected. Say everything goes great. Gets reelected, everything's great. He's only got 4 years. You know, even just building the wall on the border, the Democrats filed so many friggin' lawsuits, funding for it, everything. He had to wait till all these lawsuits went through. Each one of them took at least a year. And finally got the green light, built 500 miles of wall, and then he was out of office. So, you know, it's hard to do things, and they're already planning to obstruct everything he does, everything. It's going to be really bad. So what's going to happen? Are people going to get angry, and when they go vote in 2028, take it out on the Democrats by not voting for him, whoever the Democrat is? Because immigration is important to 76% of the population, from what I've seen. Hillary Clinton had immigration in her campaign. Barack Obama had immigration in his campaign. This is the only people that have just tried to say immigration is important. They don't do anything. Hillary actually had a plan to at least contain immigration without deportation and without building a wall. And we never got to see what her plan was, but she had one. Oh, it's okay. So we never got to see, but there is her old website still up, I believe, that has it on there if you're curious enough to look. But one thing I can tell you that disappeared is her tax returns she submitted when she ran. They disappeared. I had downloaded them when they were available, and I still have them somewhere. But she had a lot of favors, okay, in her tax return. Hedge funds, $30,000 here, $30,000 there, $30,000 there, $30,000 there. She had her money all distributed, and you know, she went from, when she ran, from being broke to being mega rich again. How does that happen? And I'm talking about when she ran against Obama in the primary. So she actually ended up being in debt for her campaign. She owed that because the DNC wanted Obama. And whatever the DNC wants, the DNC gets. And right now, they wanted Biden, but they don't want this Biden. So now they don't want Biden, and they're not going to have Biden. Biden just doesn't know it yet. So there you have it. It's my opinions on that. So anyway, we had a good time shooting Saturday. It was overcast, and with old eyeballs, it's not my favorite to shoot in when it is overcast like that. Reason being is, well, it's overcast. Can't see your front sights as good with old eyeballs. Now I do wear magnifiers, but everything is just better when the sun is out nice and bright. So that's not to say I can't shoot at night, because I can. But I'm talking about shooting 40, 50 yards, 100 yards with iron sights. During the daytime I can do that. Nighttime I can do that, but I miss more often. And not by much, but you get the picture. So with that, it's one of those things that that was one of those homeless guys that was digging through our trash one day. Which is fine, you know. I'm not going to deprive a homeless person from a few empty cans if it helps them, you know, buy some cigarettes or something. I don't know what the hell you can buy for cigarettes for $5 in cans, but anyways. So shooting was good. It was fun. I shot my Canik 9mm quite a bit. I really like that pistol. It's a good one. And I gotta make some more percussion caps. I got a few left. Probably got enough to shoot for a day. I don't shoot that much of them when I shoot them. My black powder videos on how to make percussion caps, those get a lot of views still, and I get comments once in a while, so I shouldn't really complain too much, I guess. It just feels like I should be getting more than what I'm getting compared to before. So anyways, you know, using the pistol primers, small pistol primers, or large pistol primers I should say, works well for black powder. The best ones you could use is the Remington revolvers, the 1858 or the 1860. They have a deeper nipple port to put caps on, and I use 1851 Navy Colts, which is more difficult to do that with. But as you can see from the video I have on my channel, 2 videos I have, it is possible. So I have demonstrated in the video that they work, and people have been doing it And I gave the size of the vinyl tubing they need. It really doesn't cost much money at all. And then you just buy some large pistol primers. Couldn't be easier. Now you can go modify your firearm to make those work if you want to. But technically it's not a firearm. I didn't believe it when somebody said it, but I looked it up online on the ATF website. They do not consider black powder pistols or black powder firearms as firearms. So you don't need an FFL for those, nothing. The two I bought, I ordered them, and they delivered in the mail right to the house. No FFL. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And they also sell conversion cylinders. Like you can convert to 38 special. You can convert to 45 long Colt if you buy something that is in that same caliber range. Because they're all close enough in bore size. Like with the 1851 Navy and 36 caliber, you can shoot 38s in that. But it's a certain size 38. And I think there's something else you have to do. I don't know what it is, but basically you can do that. And because if you get a 38, you can shoot 38 shorts, 38 long Colt, which I've only seen once, not on the store shelf, but online to buy. It's very rare. It's expensive when you find it. 38 special and 357 Magnum. And I believe 357 Magnum measures to 9.04 millimeters. So that's a 9 millimeter. So you can shoot a 9 millimeter in a 357. Problem is the type of casing of the 9 millimeter, because it's made to be in a stacked magazine. You have to use special kind of clips. So you have to get a cylinder where you can use those clips to hold the rim of the 9 millimeter type. Type of shell casing. So anyway, so basically you could have a 45 long Colt, shoot 44, I believe it's 44. You can shoot 45 long Colt because 44 actually measures 45. You've heard Paul Harrell say that before. So when you have a 45 ACP, you have that size, but when you have a 44 Magnum, it actually measures closer to the diameter of a 45 than actually 44. I don't know why they called it 44. I'm sure there's a story for that. I don't know. But that is true. Oh, there's that homeless guy again. That usually has a hoodie in the backpack. I think that's the guy the cops were looking for. Nope. It's not him. That is a female. That is a female, definitely not a male. And apparently somebody thought so. They just beeped at him. Her. She just got beeped at. So I'm going to walk over here around the corner. Very warm tonight, as I said earlier. My last walk was at night, and I recorded it, but I didn't upload it. And I didn't upload it because I didn't have the camera on my chest. I had it on my head. And when I don't use the stabilizing boost, there was too much of this. I don't like that. This does a little bit, but it's a lot more stable in the middle of my chest with this harness. It's tolerable, at least. So, we're gonna head back to the funny farm. As we got and today is July 7th. Oh, no, it isn't. What am I talking about? No, it is. July 7th. That's what I thought. Anyways. Oh, man. What the hell's making that god-awful noise? Sounds like one of those giant ants in that movie, Them. Something screeching. They're losing their AC unit. That doesn't sound good, does it? Can't tell if that's a screeching belt or if that's an alarm. It's not a very good alarm if it is. Whatever. I don't know what the hell's going on. That was something mechanical. Something sounds horrible. All right. Very humid tonight. Sounds playing tricks. I have a hard time telling which direction it's coming from. Normally don't have that issue. The air is thick. So this was the way that person was walking, singing to himself. It was on this road. So I'm glad that person's gone. I don't want to deal with any idiots or morons tonight. Take a nice shower when I get back. I always feel better after I hose myself off. Wearing shorts tonight. Oh, I hear the woods. Shh. I think there's a deer in the woods. Oh, I hear car doors inside Thorn Craig. Not supposed to be in there after dark. Probably doing something that's not good. Somebody. Heard something in the woods. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, don't see anything. Turn this off. See a lot of deer here. I see a lot of deer when they come through here. Not seeing anything tonight. Sometimes those deer are very quiet, and we saw that when we first started walking tonight. The only reason why I saw those deer is because I had my light on. Otherwise, I would have walked right by, none the wiser. So, nothing yet. This fall, I see a lot of them right here on this woman's lawn and over here, because there's a big giant oak tree right here. All the acorns fall off there. And deer eat acorns and are trying to fatten up before winter. Now they're predicting next winter is going to be really bad. And I'm not really sure anymore, because in Maine, typically you can have a mild winter, then the next one will be like really brutal. You can have one without much snow, and then you'll have one that's all you get. People over here, looks like they're enjoying a pool party or something. No, they're just sitting outside. They got the pool cover on. They haven't had their pool cover off it this year yet. So I don't know what's up with that. They had their pool going all last summer. They had a dog there too. So whoever lived there before isn't there anymore, neither is that dog. Because I have not seen it yet, and that dog used to bark at me almost every time I went by. No dogs. All right. We'll be wrapping up the walk shortly. And thank you for walking with me. Click like and subscribe. Share the content. And we'll see you on the next walk. I'm going to walk a little bit more before ending it. But stay safe, everybody. It's hot out there. 120 degrees in Las Vegas. You need to make sure you take care of yourself. And stay indoors with the AC. Drink plenty of fluids. Don't do anything crazy. I guess a couple of people died in California this week. They're having record temperatures out there. So take care of one another and be careful. That's my big message for this walk, I guess. Don't be no jive turkey this close to Thanksgiving. For this car to go by and I'll sign off. Hope you had a good time listening to me rant. It's therapeutic for me. I really enjoy it. I say what the hell's on my mind. I don't friggin' know everything. If you think I'm a goof, that's fine with me too. That's up to you. But anyways, thank you very much, and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the week. And this is that usually very busy intersection that is not right now. So, bye-bye everybody. Thanks a lot for being cool. And click like and subscribe, share the content, blah, blah, blah. Ciao, goodbye, thank you. Here's your hat. See ya.